All right, it's NFL Scouting Combine Week, and thus Overreaction Monday is back. Rich Eisen along with Chris Brockman. I'm wondering how I can overreact to a 3-cone drill. I'm wondering how you can prepare me to react or improperly react to a vertex jump.
Interesting. Yep.
I don't know if you have on your piece of paper there something about a Wonderlic score. I don't know what it is.
Let's see. How's your broad jump these days?
Oh, not great.
Oh, okay, got it.
I don't. Last time I jumped broadly, or
yes.
or even in any other way. But thanks for asking.
No problem.
It's that time.
That's why I'm here.
Although let's just be straight up. All 32 teams are operational.
Of course.
Every team is starting to look about for a free agent, or there's franchise tags, and there's 10 new head coaches, and so we're back.
It's tampering season.
NFL scouting. How dare you? It's legal tampering window season.
Sorry.
Or
not even yet.
I don't even know what they call it anymore.
It's deals get done over beer season.
It's overreaction season. Hit it. Go for it.
That was terrible.
That was crap. That was garbage. This place sucks.
Overreaction Monday.
All right, Christopher, what do you have over there?
Here's how I want to start. So we're going to have a cornucopia here of items.
Okay.
A few combine, a few news, and just a few other things that are floating around the league.
Sure.
The NBA, the biggest issue that league is facing right now is tanking, right? And how that correlates to the draft.
Yes.
Okay. I think copycat leagues, right? I think, teams kind of shadow tank right now. You see how Max Crosby gets sat out. That's a form of tanking, even though they won. Even though they won week 18.
Right.
Not everyone's in on it.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm picking up. The NFL should have a draft lottery. That's going to fix everything.
How many times have we been over this over the 11 years
New
of
audience,
our
but I want
relationship
to bring
show?
this again
It's absurd.
to the people. Why? Why
Because
is it
you
absurd?
just pointed out the anti-tanking strategy for the National Football League is to let their lion-hearted players take care of it themselves. Okay? You just pointed out the Las Vegas Raiders with an opportunity at the first overall pick, if they only lost their last couple of games, to just assure themselves of that first overall pick, potentially to make sure they get that first overall pick. Tell Max Crosby you're done for the rest of the season and sit him down.
And how was Max's reaction to
and
that?
it did not go very well for him. So yeah, I get that you're pointing out this is a way to tank, but at the end of the day, they won their last game for a coach that I think everybody knew was going to be done at the end of the day in Pete Carroll, and they still won it. They still won the game because there are still 53 men on the roster. There are still guys on a roster who all they do all season long is play special teams and have to stay ready to be ready. And once the minute they're told you're in, congratulations, you are a National Football League starter for the day, they go out and ball out because they know they're putting something on tape for somebody else to go hire them and be a starter for them. They could be the next Zach Bond. And so they make the most of their opportunities, and they don't give a rat's what if John Spytek is doing the thing that everybody thought he was doing with Max Crosby.
Kind of obvious.
Doesn't matter. The league doesn't have a tanking problem. They don't have a tanking problem.
No, but it might. But it might.
It won't ever have a tanking problem because of what I just said. There will always be a bunch of guys on an NFL roster who, when given the opportunity, when opportunity is knocking, they will answer the door, and they will run over anybody to answer that door because they know every snap is an opportunity in the NFL in a way that every possession in the NBA is not. It just isn't.
The league does a good job of staying ahead of things, and I feel like if they want to get ahead of a potential tanking problem, let's float this idea and see, how it's received.
But it makes no sense to have a draft lottery when this is the best way that the NFL should do its business because it's worked. Another anti-tanking rule or way of doing business that they instituted a couple of years ago that has been a raging success is to place all the division games in the back end of a schedule. So a division is still available for a team like, say, Atlanta to win 4 in a row. Their season is over. Everybody thought there was a dead man coaching. Then they won a bunch of games in a row. And as it turned out, Raheem Morris was fired at the end of the day. But they had a chance to win the division at some point. And then Carolina, 8-9. Divisions can be won at 8-9, and then that team can go on a playoff run potentially. The NFL does not have a tanking problem. Let the NBA have to deal with all that stuff. And this is a total overreaction. Okay. Hell no, draft lottery. Get out of here.
Not yet.
The NFL.
No taking problem yet.
Okay.
Just throwing it there.
Sure.
All right. One of the biggest names you're going to hear coming up in free agency in the next month. We're already starting to see, articles. He's talking to the press about it.
Yes.
Breece Hall.
Okay.
What's he going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Who's he going to be with next year?
Okay.
Breece Hall is going to be in the playoffs next year, and the Jets will again be fourth in the AFC East.
We don't even know what team he's going to be on. You're just assuming that the Jets are just going to watch another guy go. This is, in terms of a copycat league, it's a copycat narrative.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold and Leonard Williams went and won a Super Bowl.
Seems to be the theme lately.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
The only other quarterback in the history of the 60-game now Super Bowl to have Jets experience to win a Super Bowl is Joe Namath. And then Sam Darnold does it 57 Super Bowls later as a former Jet to win a quarterback.
I'm just saying.
All right.
He was a hot name at the trade deadline this year.
If you're asking me if this is something you overreact to, this is absolutely doable.
Okay, great.
It's absolutely doable. One of my favorite videos and segments that we've had over the last 2 weeks on the flagship show is me snagging all of the hot takes from the back seat of the car I was driving with Cooper and his friends to Topgolf. All the 15-year-old hot takes.
Some of those were unhinged, man.
And one of them was Breece Hall is going to go to the Arizona Cardinals and lead the league in rushing.
Right.
And I heard that one, and out of all the crazy-ass hot take concepts that were coming from the back seat of the car on the way to Topgolf, this one was like, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. And I'm wondering if the Jets are just going to let him walk. This one makes no sense to me.
I don't understand. You need good players to win games, right? Why would you let?
You also need good players to evaluate the guys that you're about to draft with all the draft choices that you've amassed.
Why would you let good players walk out the building?
I agree. This one would make very little sense to me, other than the fact of, well, I mean, you don't pay running backs that much money, which I think is one of the silliest concepts.
Yeah. Except the guy in your division got paid and led the league in rushing. James Cook.
Well, I mean, Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs and Christian McCaffrey.
Javonte Williams
think
just
about
got a nice
all
deal
of these.
after
Think
betting on
about
himself.
all of the market, in my mind, has somewhat corrected properly for the running back group. So I would – the Jets need to take a beat and see who the hell their quarterback's going to be. Who is their quarterback going to be? Who will they go get? And I don't think it's a kid in the draft that's going to be thrown out there week 1 in September. I think that would be madness. Certainly because they amassed more draft choices in next year's draft for a reason, because that's the quarterback-rich draft, and you want to be in that one. Who can they get for a bridge quarterback for 1 year? Who would be willing to be the Jets' bridge quarterback for 1 year?
Right.
I don't know. So why would you hire Breece Hall for all that money for that 1 year? I don't know the answer to that. That's the conundrum. It's that Breece Hall was part of the group of Jet prospects that put the Jets on the map earlier than everybody thought as a viable playoff run team. That's why they went and got Aaron Rodgers to just add that veteran mix to everybody else that appears to be ready far in advance of the second overall drafted quarterback in Zach Wilson to still be their quarterback, and that he was part of this group of young Turks, and 2 of them are now gone, one on Dallas and Quinnen Williams, one on Indianapolis in Sauce Gardner. The other guy led the team in receiving last year, despite being out for most years, with 400 yards receiving in Garrett Wilson. Yeah. And now you've got Breece Hall. What do? Do you keep him, figure out the quarterback at another day, and then go ahead and draft with one of your first-round draft choices another wide receiver? You've drafted enough at the offensive line. Maybe you add some of that in free agency, and then, boom, you've got a team that can actually do some business. So I wouldn't let them walk out of the building. But if they do, this is absolutely a viable take. This is not a hot take. This is not an overreaction in my estimation going into Combine Week.
Speaking of someone else who wants to get paid, deserves to get paid, Super Bowl champion, Offensive Player of the Year, and JSN is the best wide receiver in the NFL and should be the highest paid at the position.
He said that, actually.
He did.
He came out and said that at some point.
I agree with him.
At some point, he feels that he should be the highest paid at the position.
He's right.
Well, what do I always say about the quarterback class?
It's their time.
It's their time. You're like, I wouldn't sign that guy. He hasn't won a playoff game yet. I wouldn't give him $50 million a year. I wouldn't give him $45 million. I wouldn't do that. What have they proven? Move on. I would start from scratch at my quarterback spot. You keep saying that. It's never going to happen. It's always going to be somebody's turn to get paid, and he will get paid because no one's going to just start the clock again and start drafting somebody and start from scratch at the quarterback position when you've already gone down the road with somebody who you kind of believe can actually move forward. And even the Tuas of the world aren't going to stop you from keep banging your head against the same wall, I'd imagine, in the NFL by paying somebody before their time, even though it's their time to get paid. So why not apply that to the wide receiver position?
Especially when the guy has gone out and proven it.
And it's not just that, too. I mean, it's not just that. It's not a flash in the pan. The kid's been doing it at every level, at every single stop that he's made.
Doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
Correct.
Doesn't matter the OC, the scheme.
I think he's still just scored against Utah again, right? In the Rose Bowl,
right?
Wasn't that it was against Utah?
Feels like it,
right? So he and he's just aces as a human.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else to say other than.
Do you think he's the best wide receiver in the NFL?
Well, he certainly was this past year. As you know, I voted for Puka for Offensive Player of the Year because Puka had a bigger finish,
right?
And this is a regular season award. I mean, Puka lit it up over the last 2 months when Devontae Adams was out and stepped to the fore. And in that Week 16 Thursday nighter that we're still pointing at, I mean, the NFC Championship game in the Week 16 Thursday nighter between the Rams and the Seahawks, and both of those, we're just going to keep pointing to those games as the difference maker between maybe winning and losing for either one of those teams in this to get to the Super Bowl. Puka was amazing. Jamar Chase is superb. We're forgetting about Justin Jefferson because of what happened at quarterback this year.
Amon-Ra, CD.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a conversation that any one of those guys could be the best receiver in the NFL on any given Sunday. But JSN is in that mix, and he just won a Super Bowl and Offensive Player of the Year to boot. And Cooper Kupp is going to get longer in the tooth, and I know they've got some other young wide receivers, but they're going to have to keep him. And to do that, they're probably going to pay him the most in the National Football League. He deserves of the young studs in this league who are up for a contract. There's a handful that I would just not bat an eye and say, oh, he got a market-setting contract. This is one of them. Not an overreaction. What else you got?
Looking at some of the news coming out, the competition committee did meet. Rich McKay was speaking over the weekend. Rich, not sure if you noticed this. Not going to be any new proposal on the Tush Push, it seems like.
Right, not yet. Not yet.
The NFL had their chance and they blew it. The Tush Push will never be banned.
I can't say never. I think this is an overreaction. The only reason why we're not talking about it right now is somebody didn't jam it down everybody's throats to win a Super Bowl with it.
The Eagles were one and done in the playoffs, and we didn't see it for a whole month and a half.
If the Eagles had repeated and had Tush pushed their way through the playoffs and into the Super Bowl over and over and over again, if we saw the Eagles play, 3 more playoff games this year, if they weren't one and done and they got through the divisional round and took care of who would it have been? It would have been the Bears, right? The Bears would have gone to visit. No, they would have gone to visit the Bears.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say they took care of that, and then got into the NFC Championship game and went to Seattle and won that one, and then did it to the Patriots again. And we were not talking about a Super Bowl rematch of Super Bowl 49, but rather, let me get these right. It would have been a rematch of Super Bowl 35, I think. No, 38. Whatever the one when Jacksonville was. And then whatever the hell the one in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like if that had happened and the Eagles had done it again, 100%.
That's why a year
we
ago
would be sitting here talking
was
about
the time.
That was the time. That was as close as,
it's ever going to be.
Is ever going to be.
Ever going to be.
Can't sit here and say that.
No.
Can't sit here and say that. If the Eagles come back and do it again, we're back again. 100%. Smash cut to a year from now. If
the Eagles team is going to look different.
If they're greasing poles in Philadelphia and it's another parade, and they did it because Jalen Hurts had, 15 friggin' rushing touchdowns.
No, I'll say this. How much longer is Hurts even the Eagles quarterback?
Oh, God, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
They had their chance.
Get out of here.
They blew it. Now the tush push is here forever.
Never banned. I can't sit here and say that. The only reason why it's not a subject of conversation in the same way that it was a subject of conversation about pass interference is because of what happened the year before, leading to that competition committee season. Because
and they went and done that.
The whole world saw in an NFC championship game that it was a blown call. So let's do something about it. Everything happened with the Eagles. They jammed the tush push down the entire league's throats. Most of them couldn't stop it. Suddenly it's like, oh, wait a minute, player safety. It was not about player safety. The fact that we're not even talking about it this year
was never about
goes
player
to show you that player safety was the fig leaf that everyone was using to get it out because they couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, wait till it becomes unstoppable again, and then maybe they'll get more than enough teams just say we're back here again. Let's take care of it. So this is an overreaction. You can't sit here and say never say banned. But never say never, but you're saying never?
But never.
Okay, very good.
Where's my
what
comment?
Right, very good.
All right, one more on the competition committee. I think we've seen it, and it's time. The onside kick success rate is like, 3% or something?
Yeah.
That's preposterous. The competition committee has to figure out an onside kick replacement play. Has to do it.
I don't know how you do it, Chris. How do you do it? Like, if you're going to say you like the idea of instead of an onside kick, first of all, I do agree something's got to be done about it. The fact, though, that there was a big onside kick recovery in a big game that the whole country was watching between the Packers and the Bears that actually successfully worked out for Chicago, kind of all it's got to do is just happen once positively, and somebody in the competition committee will go, well, what do you mean we're going to get rid of the onside kick? Just because there's no such thing as a surprise onside kick anymore, because you have to declare it.
One out of 50 is not.
It's a totally different setup than all the years in which we were seeing surprise onside kicks, because you now have to declare I'm doing this because of the way that you align otherwise to kick the ball off.
And I like the dynamic kickoff, but there has to be something.
Correct. So now we need to do something about the onside kick. All it's going to do is just happen successfully once, and some of the competition committee room will go, well, what about this play right there? Oh, we're supposed to do something because this worked for Chicago. That's all it's going to do is happen once, and then all you got to do is have one or two people say that in the room,
season, though.
And then suddenly suddenly it doesn't get passed.
Yeah.
My issue is that if you say, all right, one snap from the 30-yard line. Okay?
Yeah, 4th and 15 or
Fourth and 15. You got to get 15 yards on one snap. Go. What happens if there's pass interference? What happens is ticky-tack pass interference that everybody goes crazy over? Oh, the thing that drives most fans crazy, a defensive illegal contact or illegal hands to the face by a defensive back because the wide receiver has a great quick first step and they put their hands on somebody's face mask real quick and boop, boop, out comes the 5-yard automatic first down flag away from the play. So you're like throwing to the left. Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
Great pass defense.
Sure.
Game over because you didn't get the 4th and 15 successful. Hold on a minute. Out comes a ref and goes illegal contact way away from the play. First down. What do you do?
Yeah,
because what do you do?
If
the receiver's beat, wouldn't you tell your defender to just grab him if it's no longer an automatic first down? Because you can't have automatic first downs on a defensive penalty because you don't want to give a cheap possession to somebody.
You got to have special rules for this play, okay? You almost officiate it like a Hail Mary at the end of the half or an end of a game.
You can't.
Yes, you can. No. You absolutely can.
Basically say what? Swallow your whistle?
Swallow the whistle.
Get out of here.
Make them make the play. It's a 4th and 15 and you're trying to come back.
It's never going to happen. And the minute that you say in the competition committee rule, okay, we need to officiate this play, one play differently, you're going to lose pretty much everybody else in the room. Everybody else in the room will be like, what the hell does that mean? officiated differently. Every single competition committee member that's a coach in that room, what they want out of officiating at the end of every single day is consistency.
We're going to consistently
but
call
you have
this
to also
like,
put it in the rule book. You can't just put something, word for word in the rule book and then have a wink and a nod agreement with the head of NFL officials that you swallow your whistles when it comes down to it.
What is the official wording of the Hail Marys? How that's officiated? There are penalties on every single Hail Mary that don't get called.
I hear you on that front. But when
this has to be, we got to come up with something.
I don't think
here.
4th and 15, that's the issue. Do you say, okay, it's not an automatic first down. You get the yardage.
Yeah, replay
but
it.
you still need to go another 15 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's keep doing that until what? You can get your field goal kicker out?
No. You go back to the original line. The original 30. You go back. You just redo the same play from that line. You don't
it's a do-over.
Do-over. You don't get any further yardage.
Do-over.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you automatically tell your defender to just create a defensive penalty?
You get 2 shots at it, and then you lose possession.
So let's keep on grabbing the guy over and over again. I don't know, man. This is an overreaction, and we're certainly not going to settle it on this show. That's for sure.
Definitely not.
What else?
We're going to try. Rich, I'm going to break some news to you.
Okay, what are you doing?
We're going to Indy today for the Combine.
Yes,
the Combine is this week.
Rich Eisen Show Tuesday through Friday on Disney Plus and the rest of the crew. Yes, we're all there.
And what day are the quarterbacks working out?
Saturday, sir.
Saturday. Okay. We're going to come out of the Combine a week from today. We're taping this on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to come out of the Combine thinking not 1. Not 2.
3 quarterbacks?
3 quarterbacks are going in the first round.
I don't know about that. And what, is it Ty Simpson and Carson Beck? Is that who you're going to peg it? Call your shot.
I am going to call my shot. I think you are correct. It is those 3 quarterbacks.
Okay. I'll just disagree with you on this front. Obviously Mendoza's not going to throw, and he's going to be.
And we know he's going. Number 1.
I don't know which quarterbacks I can recall to put themselves in first round status based on the way that they were throwing at the Combine. And I know that's kind of heretical for me to say, being an NFL Network guy for all this time, wanting everybody to throw. And that might be saying, you can't improve your draft stock by throwing. You can improve your draft stock by throwing,
sure.
because you're showing up and you're competing.
Yeah.
Which means a lot to the scouts and means a lot to the coaches, and certainly what you're doing on the grease board in the meeting room. By that, I mean, for anybody that needs to know, there is a grease board in every meeting room, and every coach basically says, draw up your favorite play, or here's what I got for you on defense. What do you do with this formation, et cetera? It's basically like a quick test.
Sure.
And that's where you can really improve your draft stock at a Combine, or your medical comes clear, and a lot of people thought you've got something wrong with this or that, the other thing, and your medical is clear, and you're like, hey, my draft stock should be higher.
Right.
The best, I guess, out of the last 10 years of me sitting up there and doing the play-by-play of quarterbacks spinning it at the Combine, the best throwers that I can recall that I walked out of there saying, that kid is as advertised, or that kid just showed up and showed what he can do. Josh Allen stepping back, fading back from, I think, his own 8-yard line and launching one so far in the air that it landed on the opposite 25 or something like that. That was so eye-opening. And it wasn't like Joe Milton, where it's just a howitzer of an arm. It was everything else that was going down. And then another one was C.J. Stroud, who just spun it in such a way that I'm like, how is he not the first overall pick? Certainly because Bryce Young didn't throw and Stroud threw. And he threw every throw that could have been conjured up on a route tree perfectly, like NFL Films spirals each one of them.
Yeah, that was after him being arguably the best player on the field in
against
the
Georgia.
semifinal against Georgia.
Right.
Yeah.
So that one, I recall the fact that he threw, I'm showing up, I'm throwing, I'm doing the route tree, I'm doing everything, and I'm going to do it expertly. I honestly walked out of the building thinking that, okay, one kid didn't throw it, this other kid threw it, and he threw it so remarkably well. He should be the first overall pick. And, Frank Reich in Carolina thought differently. And Young is finally coming to the fore. And C.J. Stroud's made the divisional round every single year of his professional career, kind of hitting his head on the ceiling in that week, 3 years in a row. But I'll just call this an overreaction. Okay. They're going to have to Simpson and Beck are going to have to do a lot more than just throw at the combine to get into that first round. And I'm not saying it's impossible. Pro days, visits, conversations can actually push. But I don't think we're going to be on this show next week. Obviously, some of the notes we get from our listeners and viewers is like, we didn't do it this season, but we did 2 seasons ago on Overreaction Monday where we revisit some of our takes.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
We'll do that coming in the upcoming year.
Up, yeah.
But let's revisit this next week. And I will proffer to say this will be an easy shutdown next week.
And, teams want to move into the back end of the first round and grab somebody.
I totally understand it. I just don't know if this is the class for it. What else?
A couple more. Rich, another one coming up. There are going to be at least every time this time of year, there's a trade. We're on the air when Russell Wilson gets to. Whoa!
Yeah, right, sure.
Didn't see that coming.
Correct.
We're going to get 2 of those this year. 2 shocking trades between now and the start of free agency.
You want to call it?
I think it's going to be a wide receiver. For sure. Don't know if it's A.J. Brown or Brian Thomas, maybe George Pickens.
Got it.
Sign and trade. Is it going to be one of the defensive linemen? Is it going to be Max or Trey Hendrickson? Feels like something like that.
Well,
but it's going to be to a location that we did not see coming.
Well, Trey Hendrickson's a free agent, so.
Well, they can.
But I understand.
They
what
can
you're
tag
saying.
and trade him.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I like where your head is, and I like where some of them you named them. Would Kyler Murray or Tua being traded be a surprise? I think Tua being traded would be a surprise.
I think those guys
Murray
being traded would be a surprise because we're just expecting them to get cut. So who's going to take on the salaries there?
Okay, so I'll buy it.
Okay.
There always is stuff like that.
Especially lately. It seems like in the last few years, the trade, have kind of amped up where it's bigger and bigger names too.
Brother, the Max Crosby thing.
It's weird. I don't understand what's happening.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't any insight. I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to get to Indianapolis to hear the chatter.
Coffee with Kubiak fix it?
There's no doubt in my mind, again, the stuff that I hear at a combine.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
The stuff that I hear at the combine from some people every year. And I'm just wondering, when I mention the name or we talk about it, it'll come up as either, something's definitely up there and keep an eye on it, or it's just like they're never going to do it. Just Max has got really pissed about it, and Clint Kubiak went in there and put a clamp on it by talking to him, and they're really vibing, and he really loves it there, and he's just a lion-hearted guy. Like, don't ever deactivate him, don't do it. Like, you really pissed him off.
Right.
But Brady's figured it out or whatever. It could be easily one of those things, or it could be like, oh, yeah, he's gone. I can't wait to get my.
Like, they won't even let you finish the sentence.
Either one of them. Either I would be unsurprised if I got either one of them. I just kind of find it that he loves it there, and I understand they've got a lot of holes to fill. But come on, man. I mean, who personifies what it old school Raider looks like, sounds like, is like than this guy?
He has a Raider tattoo.
You know what I mean? Like, so he is personified. That you could make the logo of him with a patch over his eye. You know what I mean? And I'm sure people could figure that out.
For sure.
But either way would not surprise me. So I'll buy this because it just seems to happen all the time. And I hope it does because it's good for business.
Yeah, it makes it more fun. All right, 2 more. Rich, it's also, combine season, tampering season. It's measurement season, too. Oh. It's measurement season. Okay. Here's the deal. And this is going to be a topic, so get ready.
Okay.
Will Campbell's playoff struggles is going to give teams pause on the short arm Kings. Okay.
Okay. I don't think this is an overreaction at all. I'm already hearing about defenders who have short arms.
Ruben Bain, baby. He is the new poster boy for short arms this year. He's got short arms. How can he rush the passer with 31-inch arms? What are we doing?
Except we just kind of saw it.
I don't know. Not at this
against
level.
Everybody.
Look what Will Campbell did in the playoffs.
Against this level.
He got
understand
exposed.
It's a big level. Come on.
Level up.
No.
Where my short arm kings
I don't think
at?
this is an overreaction.
You're gonna hear it.
We'll definitely listen. Thursday is when the defensive linemen get out there.
Yep.
According to our buddy Tom Pelissero, everybody is participating from that side of it. Like even Jeremiah Love is going to work out. He's going to do the workouts, which is great for our NFL Network broadcast.
Maybe the number one player in the draft.
But I'll bring it up on Thursday about the arms. What do you think? And I guarantee I would say this. Daniel Jeremiah will be like, yeah, I saw the tape. I didn't see too many people dealing with, saying his arms are too short to box with us.
I know, but you know how the scouts are. Copycat this. Will Campbell, I don't know, man. Playoff wasn't great. Imagine if he had another inch and a half on the arms.
Well, the offensive linemen are the unit or the groupings that finish up the combine on Sunday. So we'll start the combine coverage and we'll end it with this very conversation.
All right, love it.
And then we'll revisit next week on Overreaction Monday.
All right, last one. And I want to fast forward. Let's see, the Super Bowl was 2 weeks ago? So I want to fast forward 350 days. Neither the Patriots or the Seahawks are going to make it not only to the Super Bowl, they're not even going to make championship weekend next year. Neither. Fresh set. Four new teams.
Why do you think that?
Okay, the Patriots obviously lose the Super Bowl. The next year is kind of a struggle. The last team to lose the Super Bowl and go back was New England, but Tom Brady doesn't play anymore. I'm breaking news to you.
Okay.
Tom Brady doesn't play anymore, right?
Plus, who did they play? Who did they really beat, right?
Rich Eisen, first place schedule. The Patriots have I've seen some people in New England are already freaking out about a 7-10 season. That's how bad it's going to be. That's how bad it's going to be next year with new the schedule.
Okay.
It's not great. Okay. Seahawks, right? What team did they remind you of this season? Last year's Eagles.
Okay.
What happened to them?
They also lost their offensive coordinator to being a head coach somewhere else.
And completely fell apart.
You didn't even think of that. I just gave it to you.
You just gave it to me, but I'm going to make it seem like I knew that and I was going to say it, but you cut me off.
Sorry to call you out. I just know your body language.
Exactly. And
you're welcome, by the way.
Thank teamwork.
Here we go. It makes the dream work. Yeah.
Okay. One and done last year.
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
We're all riding high in Seattle dynasty. I even brought it up a couple weeks ago. There's a new dynasty. Okay. We were talking about Philadelphia like that. Okay.
Sure.
Weird things happen. Did they have a lot of injuries this year, Seattle? Nope. Sam Darnold played really well. Nope. Chances of that happening again.
Hey, what are you doing, man?
I'm just saying he's not going to have.
1 minute you're Dick Hammer, the next minute you're out. So it is.
Flaccid Hammer. You're not going to have the same 100%.
There's a skill for that.
It's not going to go.
Okay.
Can they get 80% out of Sam Darnold? But is that good enough to make the Final Four? I don't know. I'm saying neither make it. Not going to call my shot now with 4 teams. Just going to say none of these. We're going to see somebody different.
Did you think of leading the show with this one?
I did, but
you finished strong.
But I wanted to Dick Hammer this one home.
Hey, now
to finish.
Listen. It's the Chiefs are usually the team that can just win it or lose it and come back and just be there.
Yeah.
It's a rarity.
They ran
it
into
is a rarity. It's a rarity
this year.
As a matter of fact, as we were wondering who have you really beaten, the whole concept of who did the Patriots really beat, right? The whole concept of who did the Patriots really beat?
They beat the Bills.
Week one, I'm talking about in the playoffs.
Oh,
in their first game against a shadow of an offensive line protecting a guy whose left hand was so shattered he looked like he had the Infinity Stone glove on there, right?
Right.
Okay. So that's one team. They couldn't move the ball worth a lick because they couldn't protect Justin Herbert.
Right.
As a matter of fact, that concept gave Justin Herbert a 1 MVP vote from somebody that cost Drake May. Wasn't me.
Wasn't you?
Wasn't me. I put at least I was a man in that arena to use the Tom Brady phrase. I went in that arena and I made that vote because it was my mandate as a voter to vote in that.
Congrats.
Then the next week, you've taken on the Houston Texans. Didn't have their top wide receiver because he got concussed.
Yep.
And what happened with
Stroud
CJ?
Forgot how to play football.
What happened? CJ Stroud played one of his worst games
ever.
All right. Then the next week, you're taking on the Bo Nixless Denver Broncos.
Second half blizzard.
And you know what's on top of the whole who did you really beat thing is the Chiefs weren't in there.
Right.
Which kind of makes my point that we would miss the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs by the end of the day.
We
And
definitely did not.
Oh, yes, we did, sir. Because
I
if
don't
the Chiefs
understand
of
this take.
old were standing there,
I don't know how you
we might
spun
have
this
a whole
into a Chiefs
different
take.
Yeah, I just put it in a Chiefs
I
take.
don't know why you spun this.
Because
into a Chiefs take.
it's tough to make it back to the championship
tough.
weekend in
It's hard.
back-to-back years.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at the Commanders. We thought they're going to be there every single damn year. The Eagles had a chance to repeat.
Didn't even make the playoffs.
Neither of them made championship weekend, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So I know that's what you're saying. I'm backing it up for you.
Thank you. You didn't have to bring the Chiefs into it, but it's fine.
But except they didn't make it back to championship weekend this year either,
Didn't even make the playoffs.
right? The Bills didn't make it back there. The Ravens didn't make it there.
I
at
could have
all.
went super hot and said one of these teams wouldn't make the playoffs, but
That's a
championship
tough
weekend.
one. No, you won't say none of them. Neither of them would make the play. This is not a hot take. This is a proper reaction. With all due respect to both of these teams, it's up to them to prove us wrong. But odds are, history shows it's tough to make it back to championship weekend. Certainly when you are a defending champion. It's so rare.
Two
to go
teams have
back to
repeated
back.
in what, like 40 years?
And it's very difficult. We're both talking in the same cadence.
It's not weird.
So, well done. Good to finish
Thank
up.
you.
Thank you for letting me talk about how we missed the Chiefs at the end of the day.
God, can we edit that out?
Nope. That's it for Overreaction Monday, Tuesday through Friday. We're emanating from the downtown convention center in Indianapolis every single day. We have got a guest list that is a mile long. All the coaches, all the GMs we can buttonhole, all the prospects, all the media members to tell you what's going on at the Combine every single day, 12 to 3 Eastern time. We're on ESPN on Monday and Tuesday this week. ESPN2, some back-end hours this week as well. So keep us on a linear cable. For Chris, I'm Rich. Thanks for taking an Overreaction Monday right here on the Rich Eisen Podcast Network. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.